And welcome to Festooned Falls. I hope I've said that right. In the Otways. You join me here as I'm about to take this absolutely wonderful waterfall. Let me show you what I can see through the camera. I think I need to just level this a slight bit. There we go. Now we're level. And you can see that I'm using this log on the right hand side to lead your eye in. So I will have to focus stack this because this log is quite close, as are these ferns on the left, and they beautifully frame this this waterfall in the distance. I'm just looking down and checking, making sure I haven't got any leeches on me yet. No doubt I will at some point. Okay, so let's think about this logically now. So we're going to focus stack, and I'm going to need, oh, I don't know, the foliage is quite still here, but I am going to need a faster shutter speed. So I'm going to increase my ISO to about 400, maybe a touch more, 800, 1250. 1600, 25th of a second. I'm going to try that, focused on this log, which should get that foliage in focus too. So I'm going to now work my way up this tree, focus stacking as we go. It's making sure that we focus on each element. And lastly, up on that tree, and that should give us enough. And just noticed that the wind's picked up, so I'm going to wait a second and just retake this fern. Second it stops, settles. There we go, come on. Just a lull. There we go. And now we should be able to have a little look at that. That's a beautiful scene. I just want to check. It's beautiful texture. Quarter of a second is spot on. Well, I think I found my second composition here, although I think this one might be a little difficult to get into. We'll have to see. I am actually going to go landscape, and I'm hoping to be able to punch in a bit like this. And remember, I've turned that camera 90 degrees, So the polarizer is no longer working. So there we go, 90 degrees, and it's now working. The top of that frame is so bright that I think I'm going to need to put a grad on, which I'm going to do now. So there we go, our holder's on. And I'm going to now pop on our 1.2. Soft grad to bring down, there you go, you see how that brings that down, tames the top end of that image, and that means we might be able to just lift a bit more, give a bit of breathing space, bring in that tree a touch more. There we go, how lovely is that? Okay, as we stated before, we're going to need to focus stack, so I'm going to start down here, increasing our ISO and speeding up our shutter speed. I may actually go to F8 to allow us faster shutter speed, 30th of a second. It's quiet here at the moment. I'm going to take that, and I'm also going to take it on this beautiful large fern tree. And now let's test that, and if it's still, I'll focus through and do the rest. It certainly does look still to me. Excellent. So let's make sure we focus enough steps, going further and further into this scene. And I want the tree, or that big fern there on the other side. I quite like that because it's not quite intersecting with the water. And now we're ready to do the water. Again, this water's too fast at a 30th of a second, so I'll show you that. And now what we'll do is reduce our ISO, increase our shutter speed. Well, not increase it, slow it down. It was about a 1/4 of a second last time ish, so let's just make sure that our histogram is not clipping on the right hand side, which is perfect because it's not. We're focused on that water. Let's check that out. Let's have a little look. Okay, a surprise little visit here, following on from Hopetoun Falls. I'm here at Beauchamp Falls. I won't tell you what it's cost me in terms of begging to just do one more little bit to this vlog and one more image. So I can't tell you how much it's going to cost. But let me just say it'll be worth every single favour and penny that it will cost me to allow me to come here and do one more shot. So that's what I'm going to do now. Got to be quick, as I said. It's a family holiday, and I'm down here just to capture a single image. So I've got to really be mindful of the amount of spray that's coming off here. So the first thing I am really going to do at the moment, I'm just going to set my ISO back to 100 for the time being. Check where my f-stop is. F11 should do us for the time being. And I'm just going to set my polarizer. As you can see there, just taking the glare. See that glare? Take that off those rocks. So we're done with that. And now I want to get this composition right. So I'm going to just lower this a bit, because I want some of that green foliage that's just creeping in on the bottom left, and I'm cutting out any of that sky. Let me just pop that on there for the time being. Okay, again, I'm going to have to focus stack this. There's a little bit of movement, but not an awful lot, so I'm going to ramp up the ISO to capture these ferns stock still. I don't mind about the ferns in and around the falls themselves, so I'm going to take this and then I'm going to focus stack, and then I'm going to worry about that water. So let me just set up for that first. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to ramp up the ISO and then speed up that. Maybe I've got to go lower on the f-stop. I've got to go all the way down to f9 possibly. 60th, 80th of a second should do it. It's ISO 2000. Just make sure. Yeah, that is spotting quite a lot. So I want to be able to see the front of this lens as I take the image. I didn't focus, did I, on the little creatures down the bottom? That's what we want to focus on. Give it a wipe, give it a snap, give it a wipe, get a cover, and oh, we can leave. Look at that. Perfect, as if I planned it. Let's have a little check of that. And I want to just check to make sure, one, we haven't blown anything out, which is great, and two, is it stock still? And they are. Wonderful. So now we've got that, I just need to focus stack all the way up to that waterfall along these beautiful rocks and logs. So again, I'm going to move the focus point. I'm actually probably going to take one more image right up close. Whoops, very slippy. So I'm going to take that image close. Let's just wipe that. Focus. Go. Done. Wipe that. Let's move on to the next spot. There we go. And it's raining as well as spray, which can't help us, but yeah, that's not bad. Move up a touch. Move up a touch. And it is raining as well now. That's going to hamper us. I haven't brought a brolly. Well, what can we do? Oh, it is starting to really pour. We just need a little break. I'm going to take this one. Move her up. And we're focusing as we go. Really starting to come down now. Okay. Now I'm going to focus on the falls themselves. And I'm going to come down from ISO 2000 to a more manageable 100, and now I'll adjust our shutter speed, hoping for around 1/4 of a second, half a second maybe. So let's just adjust this. A 1/4 of a second looks good at ISO 50. So I'm going to take this. I've locked the focus, so just want that mist in the air just to drop a second. We'll take a few of those. Oops, I think I took a picture with the cloth in. I don't know if you saw that, my polarizer just fell off, landed in the water, and I was lucky enough to be able to capture it. I am going to take that as an omen to move on. So wherever you are, please take care of yourself, look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and until next time, see ya.